Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a truly meaningful and collectible piece of Australian currencies, the 2012 Australian $2 Remembrance Day coin. This coin is more than just money. It carries emotion, history, and national pride, making it a favorite among collectors and history lovers alike. The story of this coin begins with its powerful purpose. Released in 2012, this special $2 coin was created to honor Remembrance Day, a day that pays tribute to the brave soldiers who sacrificed their lives in wars and conflicts. The design itself reflects this deep respect, featuring symbolic elements like the iconic red poppy, which has long been associated with remembrance and honor. For many Australians, this coin represents not only currency, but also a heartfelt connection to history and sacrifice. When we talk about a coin in very fine condition, we are referring to a piece that has seen some circulation, but still retains clear details, strong design features, and an overall attractive appearance. Light wear may be visible, but the coin still looks impressive and collectible. Now let's talk about the background and composition of this coin, which also adds to its appeal. The Australian $2 coin is made from aluminum bronze, giving it that distinctive golden color that stands out instantly. It weighs around and has a diameter of making it slightly smaller but thicker than many other coins. The durability of this material ensures that even circulated coins can maintain a good level of detail over time. The combination of its sturdy composition and meaningful design makes it a coin that lasts both physically and historically. Collector demand for the 2012 Remembrance Day $2 coin has grown steadily over the years. Coins with special themes, especially those tied to national events or emotions, tend to attract more attention in the numismatic world. This particular coin is popular not only in Australia, but also among international collectors who focus on commemorative coins. The emotional significance, combined with a limited release compared to standard circulation coins, gives it a strong position in the collector's market. People are not just collecting metal here, they are preserving a story. When it comes to the current market value, a 2012 Remembrance Day $2 coin in very fine condition generally holds a value higher than its. While prices can vary depending on demand, location, and exact condition, it typically ranges from around $130,000 to $150,000 Australian dollars in today's market. In some cases, coins with exceptional detail or strong visual appeal may fetch even more, especially if sold to the right collector. The steady interest in commemorative Australian coins keeps this piece relevant and desirable. For collectors, there are always smart approaches that can make the experience more rewarding. It's important to store your coin properly, preferably in a protective holder or capsule, to prevent scratches and environmental damage. Handling should be minimal and, when necessary, done with clean hands or gloves. Keeping an eye on market trends can also be helpful, as the value of commemorative coins can increase over time, especially when demand rises. Patience plays a key role in coin collecting, and holding on to meaningful pieces like this one can often lead to greater value in the future. As we come to the conclusion, the 2012 Australian $2 Remembrance Day coin stands as a beautiful example of how currency can carry deep emotional and historical meaning. It's not just about its monetary value, but about what it represents: respect, remembrance, and national pride. Whether you are a seasoned collector or just starting out, this coin offers both sentimental and financial appeal. Its steady demand and symbolic importance make it a worthy addition to any collection. So, if you come across one of these coins, take a moment to appreciate its story. You're not just holding a piece of metal, you're holding a tribute that continues to live on through collectors around the world. Next up, today, we're diving into the story of the Australia $2 coin from the year 2005, especially focusing on a coin in very fine condition and what it's worth in today's market. This is more than just a coin. It's a symbol of Australian identity and a fascinating collectible for enthusiasts around the world. The Australian $2 coin was first introduced in 1988, replacing the older $2 banknote as part of a modernization effort by the Royal Australian Mint. By 2005, the coin had already become a familiar part of daily life in Australia. The design features the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse, created by Ian Rank Broadley, which was standard for Australian coins during that period. On the reverse side, you'll find one of the most recognizable designs in Australian coinage, an Aboriginal elder, inspired by Goya Chungurai, often referred to as surrounding the portrait, are elements like the Southern Cross and native grasses, representing the rich cultural and natural heritage of the country. When we talk about a coin being in very fine condition, we're describing a piece that has clearly been in circulation but still retains strong detail. The high points of the design may show moderate wear, but the overall appearance remains attractive. The lines in the elder's hair, the details of the facial features, and the stars of the Southern Cross are still visible, though slightly softened. The coin won't have the sharp brilliance of an uncirculated piece, but it carries a sense of history that many collectors truly appreciate. Now let's talk about the physical characteristics of this coin. The Australian $2 coin has a distinctive look and feel. It's smaller than the $1 coin but thicker, which often surprises people who are new to Australian currency. The coin is made from aluminum bronze, giving it that rich golden color that stands out immediately. Its composition typically includes copper, aluminum, and nickel, making it durable and resistant to corrosion. The coin weighs around and has a diameter of about with a reeded edge that adds both texture and security. Even after years of use, coins in very fine condition still maintain much of their original structure and appeal. Collector demand for the 2005 $2 coin is generally steady rather than extraordinary, but that doesn't mean it lacks value or interest. This is a standard circulation coin, so it was produced in large quantities. However, collectors often seek coins from specific years to complete date sets, and condition plays a major role in desirability. A well-preserved 2005 coin in very fine condition can still attract attention, especially from beginners building their collections or from those who appreciate the historical continuity of Australian coinage. While it may not be considered rare, it holds a dependable place in the market. When it comes to current market value, a 2005 Australian $2 coin in very fine condition typically remains close to its butt with a slight premium in collector circles. In today's market, you can generally expect it to be worth around $30,000 to $50,000, depending on its exact condition, eye appeal, and the platform where it's being sold. Coins with cleaner surfaces, fewer marks, and better overall presentation tend to fetch the higher end of that range. It's not a high-value coin, but it's a solid and affordable collectible that can be part of a meaningful collection. For collectors, there are always smart ways to approach coins like this. It's important to store your coins properly, using holders or albums that protect them from moisture, dust, and excessive handling. Even a coin in very fine condition can lose value if it's not cared for. Paying attention to small details can make a difference, such as avoiding cleaning the coin, which can actually reduce its value. Building a complete set of Australian $2 coins by year can also add a sense of purpose and excitement to your collecting journey. And of course, always keep an eye out for errors or unusual variations, as these can significantly increase a coin's value. As we come to the end of this exploration, it's clear that the 2005 Australian $2 coin may not be a rare treasure, but it holds its own charm and importance. It represents a piece of modern history, a connection to Australian culture, and an accessible entry point into the world of coin collecting. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, coins like this remind us that value isn't always about rarity or high price. It's also about the stories we hold in our hands. Next up, today we're diving into the fascinating world of Australian coins, and in particular, a very interesting piece that often gets overlooked, but has its own quiet charm and collector appeal. The Australia $2 coin from 1999, especially those older pieces that show a slight rust green tone and remain in fine condition. Now, at first glance, many people might think of the Australian $2 coin as just everyday currency. After all, it's still widely used in circulation. But when you take a closer look at a 1999 issue, especially one that has aged naturally over time, you begin to appreciate that this coin carries both historical value and a story shaped by years of handling, environment, and preservation. Let's start with a bit of history. The Australian $2 coin was first introduced in 1988 to replace the paper note, making transactions more durable and cost-effective for the economy. By 1999, the coin had already become a familiar part of daily life across Australia. The design features the iconic portrait of an Aboriginal elder, a representation that symbolizes respect for Indigenous culture and heritage. Over the years, this design has remained one of the most recognizable elements of Australian coinage. When we talk about a 1999 coin today, we're looking at a piece that is more than 2 decades old. That age alone adds a layer of interest for collectors. Coins from this period were minted for circulation, not as limited collectibles, which means most of them experienced regular use. Finding one today in fine condition is already a positive sign, as it suggests the coin has avoided heavy wear, deep scratches, or major damage. Now let's talk about that rust green appearance. This is something that often catches the eye and sometimes worries new collectors. The Australian $2 coin is made primarily of aluminum bronze, a composition that includes copper, aluminum, and nickel. Over time, depending on storage conditions and exposure to moisture or air, the surface can develop toning. This can appear as a greenish or slightly darker patina. Rather than seeing this as damage, many collectors actually appreciate natural toning because it gives the coin character and authenticity. It tells a story of age and survival, which is something you simply can't replicate artificially. Moving on to the background and composition, the coin's aluminum bronze structure gives it that distinctive golden color when new. It's also quite durable, which is why many of these coins are still in decent shape, even after years of use. The Royal Australian Mint produced millions of these coins in 1999, so they are not considered rare in terms of mintage. However, condition always plays a huge role in collectability, and coins that retain clear details, sharp edges, and minimal wear stand out significantly. When it comes to collector demand, the 1999 Australian $2 coin sits in an interesting position. It's not a rare coin, but it's definitely collected, especially by those who focus on Australian decimal currency or date runs. Some collectors specifically look for coins with unique toning, like the rust green effect, as it adds individuality to their collection. Others aim to gather coins from each year in the best possible condition, making a fine example from 1999 amperes worthwhile addition. Now let's talk about the part everyone is most curious about: the current market value. In general, a standard 1999 Australian $2 coin in circulated condition is still worth around its, which is $2. However, when you step into the collector's market, things become a bit more interesting. A coin in fine condition, especially one that has appealing natural toning and minimal wear, can sell for anywhere between $330,000 to $350,000 Australian dollars. In some cases, if the coin has particularly attractive coloration or is close to extremely fine condition, it might even fetch slightly more from the right buyer. While this may not seem like a huge jump in value, it's important to remember that coins like these are appreciated for their collectability and long-term potential rather than immediate high returns. For collectors, there are a few helpful tips to keep in mind. First, always handle coins carefully. Preferably by the edges, to avoid adding fingerprints or oils that can affect the surface over time. Second, avoid cleaning the coin, even if the rust green tone seems unusual. Cleaning can actually reduce the coin's value significantly because collectors prefer original surfaces. Third, proper storage is key. Keeping your coin in a dry, cool environment, ideally in a coin holder or album, will help preserve its condition for years to come. And finally, always keep learning and observing the market, because even common coins can gain more attention as time passes and fewer high-quality examples remain. As we come to the conclusion, it's clear that the 1999 Australian $2 coin may not be rare, but it holds its own special place in the world of coin collecting. Its history, durable composition, and the unique aging process that can give it that rust green tone all contribute to its charm. For collectors, it's not always about finding the rarest coin. Sometimes it's about appreciating the journey of a coin that has quietly circulated through everyday life and still manage to remain in fine condition. So if you happen to come across one of these coins in your collection or daily change, take a moment to look at it more closely. You might just be holding a small piece of history that's worth more than you think, not only in value, but in story. Thanks for watching. Like, share,